Welcome back to the Pro League coverage. Mr. X joined by Chance. VSK, we saw Denal. They won map number 1 versus TK. Currently, though, we are in Rise versus Prophecy. Just starting up here, and it looks like that Prof going to be playing with a sub tonight. Looks like it's going to be BL Fire playing in place for Doug. Does that change your prediction at all, Chance?
I can't. Who did I predict to win this? I said, I don't even know who I said anymore.
We both had Rise.
I did have Rise? Yeah, then I'm going to stick with Rise then, because BL Fire been on the struggle bus a little bit, and Advanced Warfare obviously got traded away from automatic reload, so I don't think, holy crap, X just got a 3-piece. I don't think he'll quite provide enough slaying power to make up for Sensor of all people, so no, I'm going to stick with Rise.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Rise as well. You know, they looked pretty good yesterday during the 5K. Did not expect that at all. I know FaZe goes up 2-0 maps, think it's going to end the entire series, but you know, they were able to make the comeback. It was shocked out of this Rise Nation team, because the team on paper you wouldn't expect to keep playing with each other, right? Chance, I mean, just kind of an oddly put together roster.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm not trying to take anything away from Reeds real quick, but Neslo, Theory, and Chino are all three players that individually have like a lot of talent, and even in Advanced Warfare have done pretty well, like individually. And then Wheats obviously has done a pretty good job as an objective player. I think he had a really good KD for an OBJ guy in COD Champs, like really close to that like bench line +1 mark. It was like a .97 or something like that, I think. But yeah, like if you would ever ask me to put, this seems like a Money 8 team, if anything, just a random team kind of thrown together, but a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this team doesn't even look like a Money 8 team. I mean, I know TK, to me, that's like, okay, they look like a team that you can see these guys playing together like every once in a while, like tourneys online, like just filling in for teams, but to actually be a real team, kind of odd. And you know, Theory on your screen right now, he's going to be dropped. Wheats on the hill, he's going to be taken out as well. Chino getting off to a rough start here for Rise Nation. Had a very good tournament yesterday, but it's going to be Prof in the lead. Mochilla, a big part of that, starting things off 10-5. We'll go on with him once he comes off spawn.
Yeah, and something about Chino, I think you mentioned it yesterday about him being like a ridiculously good hardpoint player, and I think I might be misremembering that you said pros would consider him like the best hardpoint player
around
in the
Orlando, game. A lot of the pros there were saying that Chino is the best hardpoint player. But, I mean, the game has changed drastically since then.
Either way, that's still really interesting because like we can only look at so much as viewers, but like obviously the pros have a much better perspective of like how things really are. And like Chino is a guy I never would have picked. Nothing against him, like he's a great player, but I never would have like put him in my #1 guy for hardpoint. That's
right. Yeah, no, I would have never.
Interesting to hear.
Yeah, I would have never have kind of put him in that top spot either. I would have reserved that for probably somebody like a Formal, a Clacer, Scump, Crim, somebody in that type of regard. But nope, Prof putting up a good fight here without Censor against our 5K champions from yesterday. After he's going to drop in the hill. Aches, he's going to be working his way all the way around, trying to make one last play for the hill. He's going to be taken out by Chino, and Chino, don't really want to say starting to come alive a little bit, but definitely turning things around, starting to heat up slightly.
Oh yeah, I think he started out like 1-6 and it's turned around now sitting at 7-9, but you're going to see the hill has now rotated, the rotations have come in, and it looks like the gunfight's going to be won by Theory in the hill with it getting a 2-piece. And to me, that's probably like one of the biggest parts of hardpoint. Whoever can get like 2 pieces in the hill, like those are like your phenomenal hardpoint players. Like Scump's a guy I see do it absolutely all the time, hanging on the hill. And I think Chino even yesterday with a bow was sitting in like the lobby hill and just destroying people with the bow in like a tight-knit hardpoint. Ridiculous.
Chino does a great job with the AR in those like tight situations. It's a great thing you brought that up. I was doing it a lot yesterday. BL Fire picking up a 3-piece. So the sub filling in for Doug. Coming up big there, picking up a 3-piece. As you see Mochilla, he's going to try and push out. Neslo's going to pick up 2. He's going to push into the hill. So looks like Rise trying to take the last few seconds on this hill. But it's going to be BL Fire again coming down, taking out 2 people. Apathy on the hill right now on your screen. Apathy is a player in Advanced Warfare I feel is a little bit underrated. You know, talked a little bit about him at the beginning of the year, talked a lot about him during Ghosts, but no, haven't talked about him recently, but he's been putting up some great numbers on land.
So occasionally, like probably like 3 times a week, I'll like send out on Twitter, hey, if anybody wants to play, hit me up, send me your gamer tag and play.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was specifically, but when they got in and we started talking about playing against pro players, someone brought up Apathy and just talked about how good Apathy was at this game for like 20 minutes straight and wouldn't let anyone say anything. Just talking about how Apathy destroyed him when they played against him, and Apathy is like one of the best in the game. Stuff like that, like your generic sort of conversation. Yeah, Apathy, definitely a guy that at least some people look out for.
Oh, I mean, I think Apathy the last 2 months is really kind of transformed into, I don't want to say he transformed into a top 5 player, but he already was. He's just more consistent now than I think he once was. Mochilla on your screen. Why? Because he's on a 6 spree right now, so going to highlight that, show him a little bit of love. Just got Apathy off of a 5 streak as well. Ake's actually on a 6 streak. We'll make it 7. We'll go on board with him. He's just locking down poolside, and I thought he was gonna just kind of be done after they left that FaZe team. I think after he was released from them, I thought he was kind of done. Ends up on this prop squad. He had a pretty good champs. I don't think a lot of people will give him the credit of that, but in the games that it mattered for FaZe, he wasn't really the one kind of coming up short, except for that Solar S&D where he team killed. That one he definitely came up short.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting play. Kind of hilarious, but really interesting stuff from FaZe right there. Not interesting, just kind of like a show of their dominance. Before Patrick went on that 9 streak, I think BL Fire had a 6 streak. Apathy was also on a 6 or 7 streak, and then Mochilla was catching up at a 4 or 5. So at one point, 3 of their players had each had at least a 4 streak without dying a single time. Just complete domination. That's why they've been able to rack up the score. I can't remember the last time Rise has been able to take more than 5 points aside from this hard point.
Yeah, and Rise looked really good yesterday in hardpoint. Today, struggling a little bit. I think it's, Wheats needs to turn it up in the slaying department.
Yeah, and even Chino, you could argue both of them kind of slow. Chino heated up a tiny bit and then just completely faded back down. But yeah, right now it's just complete slaying performance out of FaZe right now. All of them are positive by quite a bit, except for BL Fire, who's hanging it even. But if you're hanging it even and you have 11 captures and we're not even remotely close to being done with the match, and he has a 4 streak in the hill right now, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, BL Fire's played great as a sub for this prof lineup. Very interesting. Didn't even know he was a sub for prof, but he gets a little bit of a revenge on Wheat's former teammate with AR, but it's going to be Aches on your screen trying to rotate over towards this pool side. They don't really need to challenge this. 20 seconds left, but it looks like they're going to go for it anyway. Right now, Rise needs any second they can get. Aches dominating this game at 34 and 16.
Yeah, I think the argument for Aches, people were calling him the greatest Call of Duty player of all time, which is understandable, having the most wins and all that. But I think that's kind of shifted to now he's just a player that wins. He is the most winning player of all time. Not the best necessarily on the sticks, but throw him on a team and he will find some way to make it work and to win.
I mean, I think you can make an argument for best on the sticks as well, versatility-wise. I think, you obviously look at some of the top players Aches, Crim, Scamp, Formal, Clay, just Karma. I mean, tons of just great players in Call of Duty in general. I think definitely any of those names viable options for that discussion. But Rise looks like they're going to be making a little bit of a comeback here. Wheat's on your screen on the hill on a 2 streak, but it's really Theory locking it down in the back with the bow. Make it a 7 streak for him. Theory starting to come alive here.
Yeah, if anyone was ever curious as to why locking down spawns and stuff like that is so important at hardpoint, you see it right there. FaZe was doing, or no, Propsy. I'm used to seeing Ace. I'm sorry. Propsy was doing extremely well in that, when you get the spawns, you're going to funnel players in specific spots because you know exactly where the enemy's going to spawn when you kill them. And that's when you saw them, all players going on ridiculous streaks, and you saw the exact same thing. Rise was able to lock down that hill. They knew where Propsy was going to be pushing from. I think Theory had a 7 streak, and then Wheats and Chino, I think each had a 3 kill streak or something. So spawns, most important part, I would say, about hardpoint, unless you're out the gaming, and then just good luck.
Yeah, then spawns don't matter. You can just kill everybody, but definitely spawns huge in hardpoint. We just see BL Fire. That's actually Apathy making a nice 2-piece right there, jumping over the wall, and it looks like he's going to push out towards the opposing side of the map. Going to try and push those spawns out. It's going to be Aches on your screen, going to be trying to get those cutoffs before they can even get to the hill. With that AR, he's going to be able to pick up 2. He's going to die to Chino, Chino being the 3rd. See if Chino can pick up some kills in the hill, and he's so far back. This one definitely looks like it's going to go in Prop's favor.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then BL Fire has 15 captures already. That's insane. That's the top, I don't know, 2% of number of captures you'll see in hardpoint, I think. It's very rare. Normally 12's some very solid stuff. So 15 is ridiculous. And he's probably
We're staying on with Aches. He's 50 and 23 chance.
What was that?
We're staying on with Aches. He's 50 and 24. Does he have a chance to get to 60? He has 51 currently, 35 seconds left. He would have to go on a monster run. I don't think it's possible.
I'm going to give a lot of credit for BL Fire, too, because you see Aches right until there only have one capture. So they've, like, pretty much solidified their roles. Aches is going to be your dude Slang. You can see he's doing that extremely well, and BL Fire is going to be a player that enables that. But, yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, just a ridiculous game all around from the guys on Prof. I know Mochilla 31 and 33, Apathy 38 and 30. Very good game from BL Fire. Finishes negative, but still 30 and 33, putting tons of pressure on the hill. And then obviously, Aches finishing 54 and 27, I believe. Just a dominant performance out of them. Gonna put that map number 1 away in favor of Prof. Defeating Rise, our 5K champions from yesterday. What do you think went wrong for Rise in that first game?
I think Aches went wrong for them that game.
Yeah.
I think that might be a record. If not, that's really, really close to being. And I think the most in hardpoint in this game is like 56. So at the very least, he's right there.
Yeah, right there, right on the cusp of breaking a record, most likely. But we come back from this quick commercial break. We're at map number 2 between Rise and Prof. Stay tuned.